R. Kelly is no longer in a Chicago jail cell. The Federal Bureau of Prisons moved him to a detention center in Brooklyn ahead of his racketeering trial in New York this summer. The judge in that case wants Kelly in court in person to approve his legal team. Two of his Chicago-based lawyers withdrew from this team earlier this month. Kelly also faces a federal sex abuse trial here in Chicago, another in Cook County, and still another in Minnesota.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Go ahead, hit the like, hit the share. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. This video is just going to be a quick update as to what's going on and to also give you a little more insight as to how I build my content. You see, when news comes out about R. Kelly, whether it's tabloid or whether it's official news, I sit and I weigh out all the things that have been put out, and then I do my research based on the information that has been provided. Now, the source that I wanted to target today, because so many people like me in the past thought CNN was a credible source. I used to love to watch Van Jones on CNN, but then my bubble was busted, and I realized that just because these major media outlets have these names and titles don't mean their sources are any more credible than these blogs we see on YouTube. So, let's talk about the article from CNN, but let's not forget CNN is the same source that Michael Avenatti took this so-called illegal tape to and showed them this, even though we know this is supposed to be a crime, right? Okay. According to CNN, R. Kelly was moved to Brooklyn jail ahead of his trial and adds a new lawyer to the team. R. Kelly has been moved from a detention center in Chicago to New York, where he will likely stand ahead of his August federal trial as he adds another New York-based attorney to his legal team. Two sources familiar with the matter said Kelly arrived at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn Tuesday afternoon, and that he will likely stay there until his federal racketeering trial begins in August. So according to the article and their sources, he was there Tuesday afternoon. CNN has reached out to the U.S. Office for Eastern District of New York and to an attorney for Kelly for comment on the move. Kelly, a Chicago native, has been held at the MCC Chicago for much of the time since his arrest in 2019 on federal charges involving racketeering, sex trafficking, and obstruction. He was indicted in both Illinois and New York. At a June 17 Starco hearing in Brooklyn, which is meant to address possible conflicts involving attorneys on a case, U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly asked for Kelly to be moved to New York so that she can conduct an in-person conflict hearing with him regarding his attorneys, and so that he can meet with his attorneys about the process in person. He has been appearing by video conference for hearings during the pandemic. The conflict hearing came on the heels of changes to Kelly's legal team. Two Chicago-based attorneys, Steve Greenberg and Michael Leonard, asked to withdraw from Kelly's case, while Kelly's remaining attorneys, Tom Farinella and Nicole Becker, said Kelly had fired Greenberg and Leonard. The conflict hearing was set to address alleged past interactions between Becker may have with witnesses who may be asked to testify in the trial, something she has denied. And again, to see that Steve Greenberg and Mike Leonard have proceeded to be outspoken about this is very interesting, considering that if you do recall, Greenberg did mention before he had this affidavit from Azriel. So where did he get that affidavit? And why wasn't that brought into question when he was the lead attorney? Like, it's so many things that you could ask, and it's very interesting the implications that were brought about Nicole, when if you go back to the R-line indictment and you clearly read the interactions, you will note that the attorney has been referenced as a he. So if they're saying that Nicole Becker is transgender, maybe I could understand. But this is just another key point that lets you know that just because they have source information don't mean it's correct. On Tuesday, New York attorney Dvorak Kanik, a former assistant district attorney for the Bronx District Attorney's Office, filed a notice that he would be joining Kelly's legal team. CNN has reached out to Kanik for comment. The court has always appointed another attorney, it looks like Ilana Harmati, to temporarily give Kelly independent legal counsel during the attorney conflict hearing, Farinella said. CNN has reached out to Harmati for comment. And again, just to point out, when you see these articles, it's interesting that they always say that they reached out to R. Kelly's representatives, his legal counsel, and all this, but they never come back with a reply. Just like with Surviving R. Kelly, you notice they kept putting in there they reached out for comments but didn't get a reply. But yet, all these people want to keep giving their source information via YouTube. And then when things go left, we just supposed to ignore it. Okay.
Have individuals on the tape that are underage. Therefore, if anybody looks at those tapes, has them in their possession, they are guilty of a crime. And we know for a fact that these tapes supposedly from Mr. Avenatti have also gone to CNN. Different people from CNN have actually, quote, talked about these tapes. And so we know that they've seen them. All of those different levels at this point are simply being looked over, and so that they can focus here on Robert Kelly.
We are following breaking news about R&B singer R. Kelly. Attorney Michael Avenatti says he has a videotape allegedly showing Kelly engaging in graphic sex with an underage girl. Now, Avenatti claims this is a different VHS tape than the one used in another criminal case against the star in 2002. And this newly surfaced tape has been handed over to prosecutors in Kelly's hometown of Chicago. This is in addition to an investigation already underway following an explosive Lifetime documentary that featured multiple interviews with women who say they were sexually abused by Kelly, some when they were in their teens. CNN has viewed this tape in question, and CNN's Sarah Seidner is following this for us in Los Angeles. Also here with us is CNN legal analyst and criminal defense attorney Joey Jackson. Sarah, first, what do we know? How did Avenatti get this alleged tape?
It's not something that I know, and it's not something that he is certainly revealing at this point in time. But I think what is important about this story is that this is, if everything that I have seen on this tape is accurate, and everything that I have heard on this tape is an accurate depiction, this could be potential evidence in a new case against R. Kelly. Now, we've spoken to sources on this story, and I have also viewed the tape, and I can tell you that the video is graphic, it is clear, it is in a well-lit room. There are two scenes to this tape. One is in what appears to be a living room, which is very bright and well-lit, and the other is in a bedroom, which is darker, but still you can certainly see the features of both of the people who are on the tape. During the tape, and it is impossible to know this girl's age, but I do want to mention that the details I'm about to share with you right now are disturbing. And so people should be forewarned before I go into just a few of the details of this 42-minute and 45-second tape. I will tell you this. You see at one point a naked man coming into the frame who appears to be R. Kelly. Our source has identified him as R. Kelly. He is seen performing multiple sex acts with a female that is on this tape. Now, the person that is on this tape, the girl on this tape, she describes the age of her genitalia. She talks about her female genitalia. She describes it as being 14 years old, not once, but at least 6 different times. And he then confirms on the tape, in his own words, the age of her genitalia. We do not know how old this girl is. We have not been able to corroborate that. What we do know, though, are the details of what is on this tape.
We did our job. We brought the information to the public. Surviving R. Kelly went off. We kept that shit going. We got bus drivers. We got police officers. We got assistants. We got friends. We got people to lie. We got the storage. We got motherfucking video, audio.
Sorry. No. Don't say nothing to me. Don't say nothing to me. Do not say anything to me. Joy is in jail for assault. So I feel so sorry for the both of you. Don't say anything other to me. I feel bad for you. I know, yes, you do. You do. You knew I was coming up here to get Joy, and you lied to her. You lied to her. Yep. I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for you, Bear. I'm sorry for you. I am so sorry for you. Oh, it's Bear. It's done. It's done, Bear. It's done. It's over. It's over. You may not even make it to trial. I'm so sorry for you. I'm sorry. I really did love you. And you lied to me, and you used me, and you played me. Yes, you did, Bear. Yes, you did, Bear. Bye.
About some setup. She better keep her name out of her mouth. Bitch, you better worry about keeping your job. That's what she better do. And she on her
No, don't do it. I gotta talk to you about something.
Get me unemployed. Fuck that. I'm ready to give her a real reality.
Hey, look. I'ma call you when I'ma call you. I know you man. I'ma call you when I get off here.
I'm tired of her. Don't put my name on her motherfucking page. That bitch gotta be crazy. She done went far enough, and I'm sure out in her city. She won't keep playing with me.
Listen.
Isn't it always crazy when you say some things and then later on down the line you hear the same things you've said being emphasized by other people, and then they put a little cute phrase with it and people just run with it? Some of the things that I came out talking about, especially when it came to this scripted show, Surviving R. Kelly, just rubbed me all wrong. And as I said in the beginning, this whole thing is bigger than R. Kelly. What bothers me the most is that stuff like this, if it can happen so openly in the public, what does a person like me or my son or your daughter have? Let's take this typical situation. Let's say your son is riding with his friend down the street, and he's profiled and followed by police. And then all of a sudden they find a reason to stop them, just some random reason. Some reason they find a reason to search their vehicle. And your son's friend has something in his possession which is illegal. And that friend is not going to take his charge. So guess what? That friend and your son is now going to be penalized the same. And these are typical situations that happen every single day. But what if those boys knew that they could go and get an attorney and fight the whole fact and why they were stopped in the first place? And the whole thing is thrown out because their rights had been violated. These are the type of the scenarios that I wish more people talked about, because so many people are in jail right now while there's so many other predators lurking. Just keep that in mind.
Your wife called me, my mother, saying, oh, there's a lot of rumors going around. I need you to call me every single day. I need to hear your voice every day. I need you to check in with me every day. I said, first of all, I haven't been doing that for these first couple years. So now that I'm an adult, I'm definitely not about to check in with you every day. And that's what started it all. Because of her pride and my pride.
So what
and
did that have to do with me?
You're attached to her. That's your wife. That's your wife.
So I became the enemy with your the feud.
Because when I would talk to you, you would be young too.
No, because if you saying your beef was with your mother, then you said, oh,
I feel like it was with both of you guys because, like I said, both you and her, when I would call, it was nothing but arguments.
I was never present with you and your mother on the phone. I was never present with you and your mother. That's why I never knew when you and your mother talked. What I did was found out when your mother told me she talked to you and y'all argued or whatever, and I would call you. And you would have that same attitude you and her left with towards me.
Yes, I would.
Okay, but I didn't have anything to do with that. So therefore, give me a chance to pick what side I'm going to be on, who's right and wrong. You came at me aggressive because of you and her.
This is not it because I know your wife confides in you and I know she's going to explain it to you.
Exactly. But she's not going to give me everything, evidently.
So as you can see, the elephant still needs to be addressed.
But that's the thing.
Which will be addressed.
But what I'm telling you is don't merge us like I never merged you. See, I could have been one of them parents that just felt victim.
Happy New Year! Did you see KG coming to this? Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year, my nigga. Oh, man. Damn, Happy New Year, bro. Turn up time, baby. Turn up time.
You know, I had to eliminate a lot of people in my life. You know, one thing about fame and one thing about when you have money, you don't really know. People have evil intentions around you, like evil intentions. That's why I just been dealing with things, but it's just like things are getting better, and I'm just glad that I'm eliminating them from my life now, and I'm getting my business and my work together. Like I said, like the music industry is more snakier and more fucked up than the streets. Like the streets, to me, I used to think the streets is grimy. The streets are easier. The streets are way easier. The strip club, bitches who cut throats in the strip club. This music industry, you just gotta watch out. You gotta get lawyer up. You gotta get business managers up. You gotta mingle with the right people. And you know, I don't really know celebrities like that. I don't really talk to celebrities like that. I found this.
Cardi B is responding to a whole lot of backlash she is getting for an admission that she made on an Instagram live video 3 years ago. Now, someone brought it back up. The internet likes to do that sort of thing, and Cardi was talking about her days when she was working as a stripper, and she admitted that she would take guys back to hotel rooms, drug them, and rob them. Here's what she said.
I had to go straight. I had to go, oh yeah, you wanna yeah, let's go to this hotel. And I drop up and I rob that. That's what I used to do.
Okay, yeah, so people were shocked by this. The hashtag Surviving Cardi started trending yesterday, a reference to Surviving R. Kelly. Well, Cardi has written a response on Instagram saying, I'm part of a hip-hop culture where you can talk about where you come from. Talk about the wrong things you had to do to get where you are. I made the choices that I did at the time because I had very limited options. I was blessed to have been able to rise from that so many women have not. Whether or not they were poor choices at the time, I did what I had to do to survive. I have a